This is Pepper. She is my service dog. Is she certified by a service dog company? No. Did I buy this vest on Amazon? Yes. And I will tell you why. In this video, I'll be explaining what the definition of a service dog is according to the ADA, Americans with Disabilities Act. None of this is my opinion. I will also be quoting the answers directly from the ADA. I will also be addressing some of the most frequently asked questions everyone with or without a disability really should know about regarding service animals. Hi, my name is Carrie, and this is Pepper, my service dog. Yes, you know your name, don't you? I am a below-the-knee amputee, and I will be answering all of your burning questions regarding service animals, including why would I need a service dog as only a below-the-knee amputee? Did I take this service dog from somebody more deserving and more in need? Does the dog need licensing or paperwork to be considered a service dog? Does the dog have to be professionally trained, or can the service dog be any breed? Some of the answers might surprise you. They did me before I had a service dog. And then at the very end, I'm going to show you my service dog, her tasks that she performs, her vest, and also her carrying pouch and what would be in this. In the description below, I have provided links to the ADA website as well as their frequently asked questions. I'm not addressing all of them in this video, but I am addressing the most commonly asked questions that I get in public. I've also linked the Fair Housing Authority and the Air Carrier Access Act from the Department of Transportation if you need information on service dogs regarding your dwelling or traveling with your service dog. And while you're down there, don't forget to subscribe while I jump into all the details regarding service dogs. So, what is a service dog? According to the ADA, a service animal is defined as a dog specifically that is individually trained to do work or perform tasks for a person with a disability. As of March 15, 2011, only dogs are recognized as service animals under Titles 2 and 3 of the ADA. Hear that? You're in. Yay! It is a common misconception that service dogs come only from a certified service dog company with paperwork and specialized training. This is most definitely the case with some of them, but not all of them. Does the ADA require service animals to be professionally trained? No. People with disabilities have the right to train the dog themselves and are not required to use a professional service dog training program. There are many types of service dogs, and some have been specifically trained to do incredible work. A person with diabetes, for example, may have a dog that is trained to alert them when their blood sugar reaches high or low levels. A person with depression might have a dog that is trained to remind him or her to take their medication. Or a person who has epilepsy might have a dog that is trained to detect the onset of a seizure and then help the person remain safe during that seizure. I do not have any of these disabilities, so mine is far less trained. Service animals are working animals, they are not pets. A work or task a dog has been trained to provide must be directly related to the person's disability. Dogs whose sole function is to provide comfort or emotional support do not qualify as service animals under the ADA. So, where are service dogs permitted to go? Under the ADA, state and local governments, businesses, and nonprofit organizations that serve the public generally must allow service animals to accompany people with disabilities in all areas of the facility where the public is allowed to go. So if a human can go there, the service animal can go there, with a few exceptions. For example, in a hospital, it usually would be inappropriate to exclude a service animal from areas such as the patient rooms, the clinics, the cafeterias, or the examination room. However, it may be appropriate to exclude the service animal from operating rooms or burn units where the animal's presence may compromise a sterile environment. What proof are you required to provide that your dog is a service dog? Yes, I know. Staff in public may ask 2 questions. First, is the dog a service animal required because of a disability? And second, what work or task has the dog been trained to perform? That's it. Those are the only 2 legal questions you can be asked or ask of someone if you're in a working environment regarding their service dog and their disability. Staff cannot ask about the person's disability. They cannot require medical documentation. They cannot require special identification card or training documentation for the dog, and they may not ask the dog to perform its abilities or tasks. Can service dogs be any breed of dog? Yes. The ADA does not restrict the type of dog breeds that can be service dogs. Can individuals with disabilities be refused access to a facility based solely on the breed of their service dog? The answer is no. A service animal may not be excluded based on assumptions or stereotypes about the animal's breed or how the animal might behave. However, if a particular service animal behaves in a way that poses a direct threat to the health and safety of others, has a history of such behavior, or is not under the control of the handler, the animal may be excluded. If an animal is excluded for such reasons, staff must still offer their goods and services to the person without the animal present. Does the service dog have to wear a vest, a patch, or special harness to identify them as a service dog? No. The ADA does not require service dogs to wear a vest, ID tag, or a special harness. So does the ADA require that a service dog be certified as a service dog? No. Covered entities may not require documentation such as proof that the animal has been certified, trained, or licensed as a service animal as a condition for entry. In fact, there are individuals and organizations that sell service animal certification or registration documents online. These documents do not convey any rights under the ADA, and the Department of Justice does not recognize them as proof that the dog is a service animal. People with disabilities who use service dogs cannot be isolated from other patrons, treated less favorably than other patrons, or charged fees that are not charged to other patrons without animals. So, example, if you went to a hotel and you cannot be charged an animal fee at that hotel if they would not normally charge an animal fee to a person without a dog. In addition, if a business requires a deposit or a fee to be paid by patrons with pets, it must waive the charge for a service animal because it is not considered a pet or a dog at that point. It is a necessary tool. Right? Yes. Yeah, you're a necessary tool. Are hotel guests allowed to leave their service dogs in their hotel room when they leave the hotel? No, the dog must be under the handler's control at all times. As soon as the dog is under the control of somebody else, like my husband, it is now a pet. Are churches, temples, synagogues, mosques, and other places of worship required to allow individuals to bring their service dogs into the facility? No. Religious institutions and organizations are specifically exempt from the ADA. However, there may be state laws that apply to religious organizations. Do apartments, mobile home parks, and other residential properties have to comply with the ADA? Sort of, but the answer is no. That's covered under the Fair Housing Act, and it applies to virtually all types of housing, both public and privately owned, including housing covered by the ADA. Under the Fair Housing Act, housing providers are obligated to permit, as a reasonable accommodation, the use of animals that work, provide assistance, or perform tasks that benefit people with disabilities. or provide emotional support to alleviate symptoms or effects of a disability. For example, of reasonable accommodation, we asked our landlord to take off the shower doors in our shower because I cannot get in the shower with glass shower doors. That is a reasonable accommodation. Asking them to put in a stair lift on our stairs, that is not a reasonable accommodation. They may have done it, but I doubt it, and we would not ask for that. That's taking advantage. So, do commercial airlines have to comply with the ADA? No. The Air Carrier Access Act is federal law that protects the rights of people with disabilities in air travel. It's a completely different entity, and I will link that and the Fair Housing Act in the description below. Right? Yes, that's what I'm going to do. Now I'm going to tell you a couple of suggestions not located on the ADA website, but just good to know if you're out and around a service dog or if you have one. As a rule, if a service dog ever comes up to you without their handler or sits at command and stares at you, acknowledge the dog without touching it. Then you need to follow the dog or find someone to follow the dog if you can't. For example, I would have my kids. I can't take my kids with me at the grocery store and follow a service dog, but I can find an employee to do that. You need to find someone to follow that service dog because it is trying to get help for its human. That human might be in danger. Also, when a service dog is with their handler, never distract the service dog. They are hyper-focused on the handler and their surroundings. If you do try to say hello or get your kids to stop and interact with the service dog, it can become distracted. This could cause them to miss the sign that they are trained to alert to, meaning the handler could have a seizure or a medical emergency without the service dog alerting them, causing the handler major injury. Do not do this. If you see a service dog out in public, ignore it. Ignore it like you would ignore any other human. Treat it like a human. Don't make eye contact. If you make eye contact, it's fine. Just look away and continue on about your day. Please do not interact with service dogs. This is extremely important and it can be very dangerous. All of this being said, why do I need a service dog? For the most part, I am perfectly capable of helping myself during the day, but the rest of the time, this is where my service dog comes in. As I shared with you before, this is Pepper, and she is my service dog. She's been trained to perform specific tasks related to my below-the-knee amputation. For example, when we are sleeping, she alerts me to any danger. It's an easy example would be a fire or an intruder. By her alerting me in that situation would provide me valuable seconds for me to be able to get my leg on quickly, help myself, and help my kids. Without that alert, it might be too late to help myself and or my kids. Pepper is also trained to protect me in public. Since I am a vulnerable target, being a woman in general, but then also being a woman alone with little kids, that makes me a target. Having a visible disability skyrockets that target for a potential predator. Having her around is not only a distraction, but she is also trained to aid me in a situation that might be dangerous. She is always continuing her education as we go through life together. Right now she is working on retrieving my leg for me. If for some reason, say at the pool, my leg gets moved by a staff member or a child, a curious child takes off with it, instead of me having to crawl across the concrete that might be hot or scrape my knees up, as well as embarrassing, my dog could go get my leg for me and bring it back. Right now, I am also teaching her to lay in small confined spaces. For example, right here, this is a small confined space. She did not like it when I first put her up here. I will put that at the very end of the video of me trying to get her up here and get her comfortable with it. I'm trying to get her to lay at my feet in the car. So this would come in handy whenever I am on public transportation, like a bus or an airplane, a train, something like that, where she would need to lay at my feet. The service dog is not permitted to sit at a table or in the seat next to you, things like that. They are still a dog and they need to stay on the ground where they are permitted to be. Can a normal pet perform these tasks for me? Yes, absolutely. Then why do I need a service dog? The answer is simple. It's because I am always disabled, permanently. I can never get away from my disability. So that means that whenever I leave my house to run errands, go on vacation, or stay overnight at a hotel to see my prosthetist, I need my service dog to accompany because I have to go where normal pets are not allowed. I have to take my dog with me to the appointments as well. And for that, I need a service dog. There are a lot of things to think about when you have a service dog. Everywhere I take her, I need to make sure that she is safe as well. For example, I would not take her to a zoo or a hot beach without shade. That's not safe for her. I also need to make sure that I take proper care of her needs while we're out, as well as the needs of myself and my family. I take a bottle of water and she carries her pack with her wherever we go. Inside her pack, it clips on with a little tiny carabiner. This is actually a water bowl that I bought on Amazon. Inside here, it folds up to be a drinking water bowl for her so that I can give her water wherever we go. I also have a hand sanitizer wipe and a poo-poo bag. These all stay in her pack and she carries it on her back. I will link all of these things in the description below. She is still a dog and she needs to go to the bathroom and get a drink of water whenever we're out. I need to be very careful that she does not get too hot or overworked. And I just clip it back on right here. I will show you her entire vest here in a minute. Originally, my husband and I planned to take her with us on our family reunion in June. But since we will be with my entire family, I do not feel like I need her services, so she will be staying at home. Also, I'll be doing activities that she won't be able to participate in, and I will have to hand her over to somebody else, and then she becomes a pet. For example, I don't want to put her in any danger visiting a cave, or I might want to ride a ride with my children at the amusement park. I can't leave her in the company of my husband or a ride attendant to ride a ride. And I cannot leave her in the hotel because she is then a pet while we are staying in a no pet policy facility. Could I push the issue and take advantage of this situation and save myself the babysitting fee while we're out of town? Probably so. But if you have a service dog, it is your responsibility to abide by all federal, state, and local regulations. With any exemption or privilege given to you, always represent your group with the proper respect for the situation. My group would be amputees. I want to make sure I properly represent the entire amputee community as an example of respect for the regulations without ever taking advantage. If people take advantage, the ADA will be forced to make stricter laws that will harm many disabled people with their needs of a service dog. I only want to use my service dog when necessary, same as my parking pass. I have a parking pass, I only use it when necessary. For the most part, Pepper, she stays at home on her comfy couch. But I do take her out in public regularly to keep up with her training. Okay, Peps, I'm gonna take this off now. She's gonna be sad because she thought she was going for a walk, so I'll have to take her for a walk after this. All right, let's show them your vest. Okay, see you later. All right, this is her service dog vest. The one that I got has little removable patches, so you can put an embroidered whatever you want. Some of them say, please do not pet. Some of them say service dog. Some of them say stay back, whatever you want yours to say. I also have a contact for embroidery that I will put in the description below. This is her carabiner hook, and I just hook it on here. This is where I attach her leash whenever we are out on a walk. It goes around her body like this. This is her head and her neck right here. And then this goes around in between her legs so that her belly is right here. This is a size medium, I believe, and it fits her perfectly. She is somewhere around 35 pounds. You want to put it on? You want to go? Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. You're such a good girl. She's trying to sit so that I can put it on, because I normally put it on down here. Come here. Come here. Here, you're going to have to sit up here. Okay, there. All right. Can you sit? Pepper, sit. Good sit. All right. Put this on. Goes around here. Let's pull your leg through. There we go. And now we're ready to roll. I know you want to go so bad. Let's tell them thanks for coming. I hope this was educational for you. I have to go take her for a walk now. She's been so good. She deserves all the treats. I love this dog. If you appreciated this information, please subscribe. It really does help my channel a lot. Also, it helps me if you would like this video. But I want to hear from you. Leave me a comment about the thing that most surprised you. Some of the things that surprised me was that they don't have to wear a vest and they don't have to be certified and they can be any breed. That shocked me. Tell me in the comments what shocked you about this video. I will see you on the next video. I'm so excited. I'll see you then. Okay, you want to get up here? Come here. Okay, you ready? You're too heavy. Okay. Okay. Ready? Hey, it's okay. Pepper, look up here. Hey, it's okay. You're not in trouble. It's okay. Hey, it's alright. You don't like it up here, huh? Okay. Yeah. What do you think? Can you sit? Pepper, can you sit? Oh, good girl, good Pepper. Yes, good girl. Yeah.